Okay, NET-113, Tuesday, 11/22/16. We are in week 13. All right, so today we talked a lot about networks. Tried to finish up our work, at least in chapter 8. Talked about how, oops, should be an L in there, cellular, how cells work. We talked about we have different cells, we have towers in the cell, we have so many frequencies. You get on your phone, you get one of the frequencies, and you communicate to the tower. When the frequencies are gone, nobody else in the cell can get on. So we talked about that situation in Minneapolis where the bridge crashed, and all of a sudden all the cell frequencies were taken up because everybody was calling. Okay? We talked about LTE. We talked about data plans, measuring bytes. How much that we use. And we talk about access at McDonald's. That's what that's for. Then we talked a lot about networks. And I'm not going to go through all this. We talked about addressing, IP6. We talked about IP6 getting its address via the MAC address. And some of the issues that might be with that. We talked about physical and logical addressing. We talked about DHCP, that going away with IP version 6, or at least a different version of how that might be, but it'll be pretty much gone. We talked about a server having a static address, and then we talked about getting logical addresses. We talked about the traffic moving through. We talked about wireless, security issues of connecting wireless. And we did a little bit, though it wasn't necessary for this class, we talked a little bit about VLANs to understand how the traffic works going through. Then we talked a lot about networks in general. Access into the internet. We talked about a lot of examples. Network at home. We talked about the gig economy. Talked a little bit about addressing here. Classical addressing, which will not be an issue in the near future. It's almost not now. We talked about security and accessing the internet. We reviewed the OSI model and the different addressing, network path, transport. We talked about UDP, TCP, connected and oriented, even though it's not actually connection, but it looks like connection, connectionless, UDP. Make sure all the packets, and we talked about port numbers and port forwarding. They looked at some information through Wireshark. We reviewed a bunch of protocols, and we did talk about encryption algorithms, and having some key encrypt information, and we talked about that in terms of a VPN. Setting up a VPN so that the information is being encrypted, and you can actually get those services for you personally, so you can use a VPN every time you're connecting. Talked a little bit about hashing. We can hash a message, send it, then hash it over here, and check to see if they're equal to guarantee the information wasn't changed. We'll do a whole excerpt on this another day. Oh, and that's it. Oh, we also took the chapter 8 exam, and on Tuesday we'll take the chapter 9 practice exam, and then we'll work on some more networking things on Tuesday. And that's it.